All right, guys, so I'm so excited about our guest today. We have Dr. Beth Shirley, who's joining us. And just a little background on who Dr. Shirley is. Dr. Shirley is not just a trained pharmacist and a clinical nutritionist. She was actually one of the pioneers that brought us this thing that we now call like integrative pharmacy, which is basically taking the root cause of what's going on with someone and coming up with pharmaceutical solutions to meet that. So she's a nutritionist, she's a pharmacist, and the two work really well together. So I'm always so interested about some of the things that she brings to the table. And just a little bit of a back note on Dr. Shirley, she actually kind of suffered from some physical ailments, which really pushed her into this space of realizing that Big Pharma wasn't supplying her with the solutions, that if she was going to get to the root cause of the issues, she was going to have to do some of it herself. So I rely on her as an expert in nitric oxide production. She is behind a lot of the supplements that you see that are designed for nitric oxide boosting. She has been on the advisory committee for Berkeley Life Scientific Advisory Board, which is the advisory board that helps put together their supplement to boost nitric oxide production. And she's just a powerhouse. She's an expert on electromagnetic field radiation, nitric oxide. And so I'm bringing her today so that we can dive into all those questions that you've been asking me and that I have when it comes to nitric oxide production, EMF radiation, toxins, and just how this is all impacting us and preventing us from our goal, which is to what? Live free and go hard. So without further ado, Dr. Beth Shirley. Your opinion matters to me more than most people, so I always love the opportunity to talk to you, let alone share some of it with my audience. So it's always a pleasure. Last time you joined us, I mean, we got so much really great feedback about it and, you know, your approach to things. So I'm just so glad to have you back. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So I know last time we really spent a good amount of time diving into nitric oxide. And I think, you know, you and I probably both will say, you know, nitric oxide is probably a conversation that we can both have all day, every day, because it's so fascinating, and it appears to be kind of at the root of so many different things. And with that being said, you know, I also know that we also have been texting back and forth about this EMF conversation and electromagnetic fields. And, you know, because my thing is, you know, I've always really loved technology. You know, I got you know, more computers, more tech stuff than I would even be proud to talk about. And I remember kind of when I was in clinic a lot in Gary, Indiana, we had this little tower that T-Mobile had sent us to get our 5G, you know, so that our phones were working better and everything. And so we put it right back by my office. And I was just so proud. I have this little tower and it's boosting our signal. And then years later, you know, now that I'm a little more informed than I was then, I'm like, well, damn, that actually was probably exposing me to excess levels of Lord only knows what that can cause Lord only knows what. So when we're thinking about our phone reception and, you know, when we're seeing these 5G towers come to town and we're like, some people are like, well, this is great. You know, my stuff is going to work better, but there really is a health impact on that. And can you talk a little bit about that? Because I think we're still in the space of wondering whether or not this is real. Should we really be concerned about 5G? Or is this something, you know, that's kind of hokey dokey and, you know, going to pass through and be no big deal?
Yeah, it's very real. The communications business doesn't want this information out there to people. Okay, because they make a lot of money. A lot of money.
Well, you know, because I notice in some countries it's even illegal to put these things by schools.
So yeah. Russia knew about these damages that the EMF causes back in the 50s. And they actually were trying to educate the U.S. about it. And so by the 60s, U.S. knew about it. Okay, and so they've known that this EMF can actually cause cardiovascular disease, hypertension, diabetes, all of these things that are actually at the root of nitric oxide deficiency.